There's something very few people will tell you directly, but I need you to hear this clearly right from the start. More than 1 in 3 adults over the age of 60 are living with a digestive system that has slowed down so much that waste can sit in the colon for days. And when that happens, the risk of silent inflammation in the body can increase by over 300%. No sharp pain, no obvious warning signs. But it's happening every single day. If you've ever woken up feeling heavy, sluggish, unable to go like you used to, or found yourself relying on laxatives just to get things moving, this is not a minor issue. It's a sign that your internal system is losing its natural rhythm. And here's what really matters. The problem isn't your age. Your body isn't broken. It's simply missing the right signals it needs to function properly. For years, you've been told to drink more water, eat more fiber, or take medications. But if you've tried those, you already know the results don't last, because those approaches only deal with the surface. They don't address the underlying mechanism. The good news is there's a very simple habit practiced daily by many older adults in Japan, not a drug, not a complicated routine, that can help restore your digestive rhythm in just a few days. And here's the surprising part. You're already doing this every day. You're just doing it the wrong way. In the next few minutes, I'm going to share 6 core habits with you, but more importantly, how they work together as a system to help your body remember how it's supposed to function. Stay with me until the end, because habit number 1 could completely change how you start your mornings. Before we get into the specific habits, there's one core idea you need to understand, something most people completely overlook. The issue isn't that your gut is getting weaker with age. What's actually declining is the signal that controls your colon's natural movement, like an orchestra that still has all its instruments, but the conductor has lost the rhythm. Inside your body, the colon doesn't move randomly. It relies on steady, wave-like contractions to push waste forward. But after the age of 50, those waves begin to slow down. Not because your body is broken, but because it's no longer receiving the right signals at the right time. And when those signals weaken, everything starts to shift. Waste sits longer. Water gets pulled back out. Stool becomes dry and harder to pass. And during that time, harmful bacteria begin to ferment what's left behind, producing irritating compounds you can't see, but your body definitely feels. That's why you can be eating right, drinking enough, and still feel heavy, sluggish, and uncomfortable. Here's the key point. You don't lack solutions. You're activating the wrong mechanism. Most common approaches today, from fiber to laxatives, are focused on speeding things up, but they don't restore your body's natural rhythm. It's like trying to push a car forward by hand, instead of fixing the engine. What we need to do is not force the body to work, but to reactivate the right signals so it can function on its own again. And that's exactly what the habits you're about to hear will do, step by step, gently but precisely. Number 6. Slow chewing to reduce the load on your colon. It may sound too simple, but this is where everything either starts right or goes off track. Most of the pressure your colon is dealing with doesn't come from the colon itself. It comes from what you send down, too fast, too much, and not properly processed. When you eat quickly, food reaches your stomach in a rough, unprepared state. Digestive enzymes can't fully break it down. As a result, some of that partially digested food moves into the large intestine, and there it becomes fuel for fermentation. You may not notice it right away, but a few hours later, you'll feel it. Bloating, gas, heaviness. A meta-analysis in adults has shown that thorough chewing can significantly improve digestive efficiency starting from the very first meal. Not because you're eating less, but because your body is processing what you eat more effectively. The way to apply this is simple, but it needs to be done correctly. For the first 3 to 5 bites of each meal, slow down your chewing more than usual. You don't need to count exactly, but the goal is to chew until the food has almost completely lost its original texture. A helpful trick: put your fork or spoon down while you chew. This prevents you from unconsciously taking another bite before finishing the one you have. You don't need to be perfect throughout the entire meal. Just get it right in those first few bites. That's when your body sets the tone for how it will handle the rest. What's interesting is this. When you do this step correctly, you're not just reducing the burden on your colon. You're sending an early signal to your entire digestive system. Get ready. Everything is coming in the right rhythm. And sometimes simply changing the pace at the beginning can transform everything that follows. Number 5. Abdominal massage in the right direction to realign the colon's pathway. Many people rub their belly just to feel better. But when done correctly, this isn't about relaxation. It's a way to directly support the natural movement of waste through your colon. Your colon isn't a straight tube. It travels up the right side, across your abdomen, then down the left. When you massage along this path, you're moving with your colon's natural rhythm. If you rub randomly or in the wrong direction, you can actually disrupt that flow and even make bloating worse. The mechanism is simple. Gentle, steady pressure stimulates mechanical receptors beneath the skin and along the intestinal wall, helping to reactivate the natural contraction reflex. No force, no pain, just the right signal, at the right time, in the right direction. Here's how to do it safely and effectively. Lie on your back, with your knees slightly bent to relax your abdomen. Use the palm of your hand, not your fingertips. Start at the lower right side of your abdomen, near your right hip bone, and move upward along the right side. Then move across your belly, just above the navel, toward the left side. Continue downward along the left side to the lower abdomen. Apply gentle to moderate pressure. Move slowly. Each full cycle should take about 30 to 40 seconds. Repeat 4 to 5 times. Best timing, right after waking up or 5 to 10 minutes after a meal. Important note, if you have unexplained abdominal pain, a hernia, diverticulitis, or have recently had abdominal surgery, consult your doctor before trying this. And if you find yourself holding your breath or tensing your stomach, you're pressing too hard. The key is not pressure. It's rhythm and direction. When you practice this for just a few minutes each day, you're teaching your body a clearer map of movement. And for your colon, sometimes all it needs is the right direction for everything to start flowing more smoothly. Number 4. Miso and fermented foods. This is the part many people overlook. You focus on how to go, but forget that inside your colon is a living ecosystem. When that environment is out of balance, harmful bacteria taking over, the gut lining becoming irritated, no matter how much you try to push things through, the discomfort keeps coming back. Miso, kimchi, naturally fermented vegetables. These are not just traditional remedies. They provide beneficial bacteria that help restore microbial balance, while also supporting the gut lining, the protective barrier only one cell thick, yet crucial in determining whether you experience bloating or low-grade inflammation. A study published in a journal on beneficial microbes found that daily intake of fermented foods can significantly improve gut barrier function within just a few weeks, meaning less irritation and less buildup over time. But how you use them matters most. You don't need large amounts, just the right timing and the right approach. In the morning or at the start of lunch, a small bowl of warm miso broth, not too hot so you don't destroy the beneficial bacteria, or 1 to 2 spoonfuls of natural sauerkraut or kimchi, not overly salty or spicy. Eat slowly, chew thoroughly so the beneficial bacteria can move through your system from the very beginning. One small note: if you're just starting, use a very small amount for the first few days. Your gut microbiome needs time to adjust. A mild warming sensation is normal, but if you experience excessive bloating, reduce the amount. The key here is not just to eat it, it's to rebuild the internal environment so your colon can function smoothly again. Because when things are balanced on the inside, elimination no longer feels like a struggle. Number 3. Warm water with rice vinegar. There's a connection many people have never heard about, Between your stomach and your colon, there's a very fast neural pathway. When your stomach receives the right signal, it sends a message down to your colon. Start moving. This is called the gastrocolic reflex, and when you activate it correctly, you can feel the shift within minutes. Naturally fermented rice vinegar, when combined with warm water, creates exactly that kind of signal. Not because it's strong, but because it's the right kind of stimulus. The mild acidity changes the environment in your stomach, while the warmth helps relax the smooth muscles of the intestines, preparing them to contract in rhythm. But what makes the difference isn't just the ingredients, it's the timing and how you use it. Here's how to do it. 1 tablespoon of natural rice vinegar, no added sugar, not pre-mixed. Mix with about 7 to 8 ounces of warm water, not hot, not cold. You can add 1 teaspoon of raw honey to make it easier to drink. Sip slowly about 15 to 20 minutes before breakfast on an empty stomach. In the first few days, you may notice your abdomen becoming active earlier than usual. That's not an aggressive reaction, it's your digestive system being awakened the right way. One important note, if you have stomach issues such as ulcers or severe acid reflux, start with a very small amount or consult your doctor. And always use a straw or rinse your mouth afterward to protect your tooth enamel. The key here is simple. You don't need to force your colon to work. You just need to send the right signal from above, and your body will take care of the rest. Sometimes, one small change before breakfast can set the rhythm for your entire day. Number 2, eat until you're 80% full. This isn't a dieting rule. It's a way to stop overloading your system. When you eat until you're completely full, your stomach stretches to its limit. The signal sent down to your intestines is no longer process this steadily, but rather deal with a large volume all at once. And when that load exceeds what your system can handle, your colon is forced to work under pressure, slowing down, holding on to waste longer, and increasing fermentation. Observations in older adults have shown that slightly reducing portion size at each meal can noticeably improve intestinal transit time within just a few weeks. Not because you're eating less, but because your body has enough time to complete each step properly. The way to apply this doesn't need to be complicated. Before you start eating, intentionally reduce your portion by about 15 to 20% compared to your usual amount. Eat more slowly during the first half of the meal, especially the first 5 to 10 minutes. When you begin to feel satisfied, but not heavy, that's your stopping point. If you still feel like eating more, wait 5 minutes. That urge usually fades on its own. A small tip. Take a few sips of warm water or warm tea during the meal. Not to fill up, but to slow your eating pace, giving your body time to send fullness signals to your brain. What you need to remember is this: the feeling of fullness always comes later than the act of eating. If you wait until you clearly feel full, you've likely already gone past your limit. When you stop just a little earlier, you're not only making things easier on your stomach, you're creating space for your colon to work in the right rhythm, without pressure, without overload. And sometimes the most powerful change doesn't come from adding more, but from knowing when to stop. Number 1, timed warm water routine. This is the most important part, and it's also the part most people are already doing, but doing incorrectly. It's not water itself that helps you go. It's how you use it, the right timing, the right temperature, the right rhythm that reactivates your digestive system. Your body runs on rhythm. Your colon does too. It responds best to signals that are repeated consistently every day. When you drink warm water at specific times, you create a kind of conditioned response. At that time, your body begins preparing to move waste naturally. Warm water plays a clear role. The warmth helps relax the smooth muscles of the intestines. It softens any buildup inside the colon. It supports a natural flow without shocking the system like cold water. But the key factor is timing. Here's a simple system you can follow. Morning, most important, right after waking up before eating anything. Drink about 14 to 17 ounces of warm water slowly over 10 to 15 minutes. This is when your colon is most responsive after a night of rest. Before lunch, about 7 ounces of warm water 20 to 30 minutes before eating helps prepare your digestive system and prevents overload. Afternoon, around 3 to 4 p.m., another 7 ounces of warm water. This is when many people begin to slow down. Water helps maintain rhythm. Evening, 1 to 2 hours after dinner, a small amount of warm water sipped slowly. Helps maintain hydration in the colon overnight. What matters most is consistency. It doesn't have to be perfect, but it needs to be steady. In the first few days, you may notice the urge to go earlier than usual. After about 3 to 5 days, your body starts forming a rhythm. And within 1 to 2 weeks, many people realize they no longer have to force anything. The body begins to function on its own. A few important notes. Avoid water that's too hot or too cold. Don't drink it immediately after your morning coffee. Don't replace it with sweetened or flavored drinks. You're not trying to flush your colon. You're teaching your body to operate on the right schedule, with the right rhythm. And when that rhythm comes back, everything starts to feel easier, naturally. If you look back, each of these habits doesn't work on its own. Slow chewing reduces the load from the start. Abdominal massage supports the pathway. Fermented foods restore the internal environment. Rice vinegar activates the signal. Eating to 80% keeps the rhythm steady. And warm water is the central piece that ties everything together over time. When they come together, something important happens. Your body begins to receive consistent signals again. No more ups and downs, no more reliance on strong external stimulation. Everything gradually returns to a natural rhythm, smooth, steady, and predictable. That's why many people try individual tips and don't see much change. It's not that they don't work, it's that they're missing the connection. You're not trying to make bowel movements easier. You're rebuilding a complete biological signaling system, from eating to digestion to elimination. And when that system is restored, your colon doesn't need to be forced to work. It works on its own, exactly the way it was designed to. In the end, the most important thing you need to remember is very simple. Your body is not broken. Your colon is not too old to function. It's simply missing the right signals, at the right time, in the right rhythm, with enough consistency. You don't need to do everything at once. In fact, the simpler it is, the easier it is to stay consistent. What creates real change isn't how much you know. It's whether you start and whether you stick with it. So here's what I want you to try. A 7-day challenge. Nothing complicated. Each morning, start with warm water the right way. During the day, slow down your eating and stop at about 80% full. Add one small element, like fermented foods or rice vinegar before breakfast. That's it. Don't try to be perfect. Just be consistent and watch how your body responds. After 7 days, come back and tell me, do you feel lighter? Are your mornings easier? Is your body starting to cooperate again? I read almost every comment, and I genuinely want to know where you are in this journey. If you found this helpful, leave a comment saying, I'm starting today, so I know you've begun. And if you want more simple, practical guidance like this each week, you can follow the channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss what's coming next. You don't need to change everything. You just need to change the right thing and give your body enough time to respond.